This gives the sign of a fig tree, symbolizing Israel for the end times. How can we escape all these things that are going to take place during tribulation? By being raptured, by not being left behind. Heaven is a real place mentioned both in Old Testament and New Testament. Jesus spoke in parables when disciples asked Jesus 3 questions. When shall these things be? What shall be the sign of thy coming? What are the signs of the end times? In Matthew 24:25, Jesus spoke in length, replying to these questions. They are called the Sermons on the Mount of Olives. Matthew 25:1-13.
Then the kingdom of heaven will be like 10 virgins who took their lamps and went to meet the bridegroom. 5 of them were foolish and 5 were wise. For when the foolish took their lamps, they took no oil with them. Wise took flasks of oil with their lamps. As the bridegroom was delayed, they all became drowsy and slept. But at midnight there was a cry, "Here is the bridegroom, come out to meet him." Then all those virgins rose and trimmed their lamps. And the foolish said to the wise, "Give us some of your oil, for our lamps are going out." But the wise answered, saying, "Since there will not be enough for us and for you, go rather to the dealers and buy yourselves." And while they were going to buy, the bridegroom came, and those who were ready went in with him to the marriage feast, and the door was shut.
Verse 13 talks about Jesus' intention of saying this parable. Christ's second coming will be swift and sudden. There will be no opportunity for last-minute repentance or bargaining. The choice we have already made will determine our eternal destiny. This parable is about a wedding. On the wedding day, the bridegroom went to the bride's house for the ceremony. Then the bride and the groom, along with a great procession, returned to the groom's house where a feast took place, often lasting for a full week. These 10 virgins were waiting to join the procession. They hoped to take part in the wedding banquet. When the groom didn't come at the expected hour, they all went to sleep. But when they heard the shouts of bridegroom's arrival, they woke up. The 10 virgins' characters are explained in this portion. Verse 2. In Matthew 25, the 5 wise virgins trimmed their lamps and filled them with the extra oil they brought. But the other 5 foolish virgins had to go to get some oil because their oil didn't last. By the time they managed to get extra oil, it was too late to join the feast. When Jesus returns to take us to heaven, we must be ready. Spiritual preparation cannot be bought or borrowed in the last minute. Hosea 2:19 and 20.
And I will betroth you to me forever. I will betroth you to me in righteousness and in justice, in steadfast love and in mercy. I will betroth you to me in faithfulness, and you shall know the Lord.
Betrothal in Hosea's time was a deep commitment between 2 families for a future permanent relationship. God will bind us to Himself in His perfect righteousness, justice, love, compassion and faithfulness. Apostle Paul says in 2 Corinthians 11:2 that he betrothed the church of Corinth to Jesus, the bridegroom, to the one husband, to present her as a pure virgin.